Hey there guys, it's Anthony here at Cutting Edge Guitar, and in today's video we're going to be talking about what makes Swedish neoclassical shred meister Yngwie Malmsteen a cutting edge guitar player. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, first things first, I'm just going to ask you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you see more of these when I do them, and you'll get a notification when I do my lessons and all of that other good stuff. Make sure that you ring the notification bell. Also, I just want to add that on the end of this video, I'm going to do a whole bunch more stuff for my members over at Cutting Edge Guitar. If you want to see some pretty heated rants and a little bit more about Yngwie, do come over and check us out over at Cutting Edge Guitar and see what's going on. All the links are in the description. Now, the kind of stuff that I'm talking about that I will probably discuss in the video over at Cutting Edge Guitar is the kind of bullshit that you hear from people all the time about this dude. Now, has there ever been a guitar player that's more polarizing than Yngwie Malmsteen? I really honestly don't think so. So one of the things that's so funny about it is that a lot of people, they get confused with this how many notes someone plays versus feel thing and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not going to get into that too much here because I want to talk about why Yngwie is a cutting edge guitar player, but one of the things that it really does piss me off, like, you've got to understand, man, that there's more feelings than sadness or love or stuff like that. You know, sometimes it's okay to feel pissed off. Sometimes it's okay to feel excited. And when that comes out in your guitar playing, it sounds absolutely awesome. Yngwie is a guy that has all of that stuff in his music. Now, he came out in the very early 80s. He's one of the first people that put shred guitar on the map. His first album was Rising Force. He was only 19. Imagine this. So you're a young lad growing up in Sweden, Stockholm. There's not a lot going on where you are growing up, but you're really into the guitar. Obviously, for anyone who knows Yngwie, who's watching this video, we all know the story that he got really into the idea of playing the guitar when he first saw this guy, Jimi Hendrix, setting his guitar on fire. And so he picked up the guitar. He was obsessed with the Fender Stratocaster. But the thing is, where he grew up, there wasn't really a massive music scene. So he sort of was sitting in his bedroom at home, working on things and all that sort of stuff. But what he found was that typical blues kind of guitar playing, this sort of was a little bit staid and, shall I say, a little bit boring for what Yngwie wanted to do. He wanted to play something that had a bit more fire. So where he found the inspiration to play the stuff that he wanted to play was in classical music. So what you would hear a lot of the time with Yngwie is that he tried to get away from playing pentatonic style stuff. So he's very well known for playing linear ideas. Now, if you play a linear idea within the pentatonic scale, it might come out something like this. But, you know, even back in the day when Yngwie was learning and working on his craft, people weren't really playing linear pentatonic concepts either. They're playing very much vertical concepts. So staying within a boxy shape and then playing all of this sort of thing. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but Yngwie was not happy with that. He wanted more, and that is one of his best phrases ever. More is more. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. So the thing is, where he found his inspiration was listening to people like Paganini, Bach, Vivaldi, Mozart, all those kind of guys. And he was taking the lines that you might hear on a violin, this kind of stuff, and playing it on the guitar. Now, the kind of tone that I'm using at the moment is an Yngwie style preset on the Quad Cortex. So his whole thing as well was that he wanted it to sound like rock, but he didn't want it to have limitations of the vocabulary that was in the rock players at the time. So he wanted that neoclassical kind of harmony, but the rock kind of fireworks and aggression and all the fun stuff that comes with rock. So where this kind of comes from is he wanted to break away from that minor pentatonic scale and learn things like what I played here was the natural minor scale. I think actually I played an F sharp a minute ago, so it was technically the Dorian mode. But you know what I'm getting at. Any kind of minor scale that's got more than the 5 notes of pentatonic. So we're looking at 7-note scales. Now, of course, another thing with classical music quite often has a leading tone on the scale. So the natural minor scale that we use generally on the guitar has what's called a flat 7. The harmonic minor scale has a major 7, and that gives us this kind of sound, which is a very common concept that you'll find in classical playing. So if I take that concept, that violin style run that I was playing ascending, if you play it descending, it will come out like this. So the dynamic that adds for you is that at the end, it makes your run or whatever sound very, very finished. Now the thing with Yngwie as well, he was really into the idea of playing this super fast, so it will come out like this. So that's really, really cool. I really like all of that sort of stuff. And of course, you know, you might find that there's also ways to play, there's that linear motion thing, but there's also ways of playing scales so that you can play them in blistering fast fashion across the guitar neck too. So something like this. So I'm still using that the harmonic minor sound. So generally speaking, if I was playing natural minor, you're going to have 3 notes per string shapes that come out like this. Or you can combine them along the neck like this. But you don't get that guide tone like this. So what I'm doing here, I'm effectively looking at an octave chunk. So I'm doing 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10, and then I'm going to go down to that 9th fret for my guide tone, and if you take that down 3 octaves, that's the sort of thing that you would commonly find in Yngwie's playing too. The way that I'm playing that here, I'm repeating that portion of the scale there. It just helps with a nice 16th note feel run, basically. So that's kind of like scale approaches. That's one of the things that a lot of people have a bit of an issue with Yngwie, is that they say, oh, he's just like a one-trick pony. Well, that's not. That's utter bullshit. But he does have a few approaches that he likes to use with scales, and that's, you know, he doesn't do lots and lots and lots of different things. But he does absolutely rip up and down them. So of course, look, there's a few different patterns that you could employ with the linear motion stuff, like moving up and down strings. Another common one of his is he does this pedal pointing idea. So the thing with that is, in that little section of the scale there, I'm repeating the A note, and then you take that all the way through a scale. So it's not just scales in Yngwie's playing too, there's lots and lots of work with arpeggios, and generally speaking it's triad style arpeggios, okay? So Yngwie kind of paved the way for us with taking arpeggios through inversions on a string. So if I play this shape here, that's basically an A minor triad on the top 3 strings. And of course I'm using sweep picking to employ that. The thing is, what he would do is he would take that through the 3 inversions of the triad. So you kind of get this very violin-like sort of sound. Another very famous Yngwie principle is the principle of the diminished 7th arpeggio. So when you look at that harmonic minor scale that I was talking about earlier, In any scale, if you harmonise the scale, there's always a bunch of arpeggios, triads and other things that live within the scale. There's not enough time to talk about all of that stuff here, but if you check out the links below at Cutting Edge Guitar, I've got so many tutorials where I break all of that stuff down. But effectively, the diminished seventh arpeggio is an arpeggio that lives within the harmonic minor scale. It looks and sounds like this on the top 3 strings. Now, one of the things that's really nice about them is that they are symmetrical, which means that you can take that finger and then move it up in minor third intervals. The exact same shape. And obviously, if you're a fan of Yngwie, you'll recognise that sound. But they are just some of the principles, guys, that make him such a cutting edge guitar player. The way that he's revolutionised scale playing, the way that he's revolutionised the way that we use arpeggios, and of course the way that he's revolutionised how many notes are in our solos. He's like the first guy that really brought it to the fore that you could play with real intensity, ferocity, play loads of notes, try and blow your audiences away and bring some real excitement to that shred guitar movement. And of course it was popular at a time because after he arrived on the scene, hordes of guitar players after wanted to follow him, pretty much up to the point that Nirvana came out in the early 90s and they kind of went, to hell with the guitar solo, we've had enough notes and we don't want to do any more. Okay guys, if you want to see the rest of this video where I start getting really heated on the ranty side of everybody's opinions about Yngwie and guitar in general, I'll be doing all of that over at the members area at Cutting Edge Guitar. That's all for now, guys, so please do subscribe to the channel, and if you are new, make sure that you ring the notification bell so you get a notification the next time that I do a new video or a new lesson. Make sure you drop a like on the video and drop me a line in the comments. That's really, really important. If you're interested in my book series, you can get them digitally at the Cutting Edge Guitar website, or you can get them at Amazon. The links are in the description below. I have an entire suite of lesson packs, advanced courses and more, all at Cutting Edge Guitar, which again you can check out at the links below. If you want to support the channel further and get access to exclusive members only content and all the access to my advanced online guitar tuition courses and lesson packs, consider becoming a member at Cutting Edge Guitar. Again, the links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.